Ryan Trahan stayed in one of the most wish-listed Airbnbs in Connecticut, but this unassuming cottage property actually makes so much money that it's in the top 10%. But the real story is that this $400 a night listing is quietly pulling in nearly 6 figures a year. Now, my name is Kai, and I've been an investor and builder in high-end properties, including unique short-term rentals, for the past 20 years. Let's talk about what's genius here, what's hype, and whether you'd ever want to actually buy or build a property like this. Now, if you haven't been following Ryan, he's been on this epic 50-state tour, staying in wild Airbnbs and raising money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. He's already raised over $11 million at the time of this filming, and if you want to chip in, I've got the link down below for you. Today, we're looking at this viral Connecticut river loft stay. We'll react to Ryan's stay, see what this place is really earning, and I'll show you how an investor could squeeze even more ROI out of a property like this.
Drone shot. Oh, come on. I see the sauna. I love the yard.
All right. First off, I gotta give Ryan props for his drone shots. Honestly, it's about as good as mine, meaning that you'll get motion sickness watching the raw footage. Here's an example of what mine looks like. But even wobbly drone footage can make a $400,000 property look like $1 million online. A $300 drone is one of the best ROI tools you can buy. Great photos is the baseline standard for a higher click-through rate and ultimately more bookings, which means more revenue. Or you just hire a local photographer for aerials. It is worth every penny. Here are some of the examples of our properties with drone images. You can kind of see why it looks so sweet.
The backyard looks so nice. This is gonna be so fun. I can't believe there's someone in there. We made it to the Connecticut cottage. It is a lot later than we expected to arrive.
Now, this I absolutely love. The hanging lights are an Airbnb cliche at this point in time, but the greenery that you see behind Ryan, that's the chef's kiss. Guests eat this up because it makes the photo look like a fairy tale. And for some reason on Airbnb, fairy tale sells really, really well. Now, here's the kicker. This is about maybe $200 in landscaping, maybe a weekend's worth of work, but it can boost your booking rates by as much as 10 to 15% or even more because people stop scrolling where they see something like this. It's charming. We call it a scroll stopper moment. Copy this.
Hello. How's it going?
Good, and you?
Are you with Airbnb?
Yes, I am.
All right. Okay, guys, we just met Chef Jeremy. You're making us a dinner here.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. You're gonna enjoy a lot.
Sorry you had to wait so long. That was Airbnb's fault.
No, don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. Like I went. It was like I was super happy to wait here. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Really sweet, nice guy. Okay, so this looks like Ryan's partnering up or promoting Airbnb's new guest experience add-ons. And here's where a lot of hosts have mixed feelings. Guests get the perk, which is in this case a chef, private chef. Airbnb gets to look innovative and they make a ton of money. I believe they take 30% of whatever the chef charges. But the host, they take on the extra foot traffic, the liability, the wear and tear, and they don't see a dime in the revenue. Net operating income at best stays the same with risk and liability going up. So let me know in the comments section what you think about this, because there is a really clear line in the sand right now with the host community on whether this is a good thing or a bad thing.
Oh my goodness, Jeremy.
Wow.
Wow.
All right, this is just the beginning.
All right. Thank you so much. Round one from Chef Jeremy. Charcuterie, as they say.
I want to take photos of it. It's so beautiful.
Oh yes, thank you very much. Bon appetit. Cheers.
Cheers.
What do you call your brother who happens to be made out of meat?
Salami.
Prosciutto.
Bro Yoda, Brolon Musk, Bro B1 Kenobi, Bro Selena Gomez. My buddies, I used to play this game all the time to see who could come up with the best bro name. I still think Bro Selena Gomez is one of the best I've ever heard. Good to see the bro jokes are still alive and well after all these years.
Wow. This is the most gorgeous plate I've ever seen. I'm talking about the food. What flavor?
Ryan is such a good guy. He really does do such a good job storytelling. He's got so much personality. But this place really does photograph well. And I'm honestly, y'all, I actually kind of think the chef thing is kind of cool. I think that'd be a really romantic getaway. All right, so this place really does photograph well, like where I paused it here.
Look at this.
Second course, the sneaky vegetable is the asparagus. Yeah, that is.
This chalkboard backsplash is genius. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars on tile in kitchens, and this is like a $40 can of paint that photographs well and gives guests something to doodle on. That's an experience. The ROI on here, small touch, big memories, great reviews, leading to higher nightly rates. Like, this is really, really well done. Hopefully it's waterproof because that thing's gonna get splashed on a lot though.
Wow! Chef Jeremy does it again. I'm so excited. It is almost like you can cry. The goat. Oh my goodness. We're spoiled. Guys, that's a wrap with Chef Jeremy. We just had, I'm not even kidding, that was like the best meal of our life. I'm so full. Chef Jeremy is amazing. That was such good food. We arrived to the Airbnb much later than expected, so it's already kind of getting dark outside. Let's do a tour really fast. Let's do a tour. Here's what you see if you walk inside and Chef Jeremy isn't here. Oh look, the host left some fresh fruit.
Big props to this host for leaving fresh fruit. Such a classy and very expensive touch. But consistency is the problem here. Unless you've got a full-time co-host or you live on site or a really big budget, you'll be throwing out spoiled strawberries, peaches, apples at every turnover. Shelf-stable snacks give you an 80% of the wow factor without the waste, personally. And I really like pistachios, energy bars, chips and crackers, that type of stuff. I think they did this just for Ryan because he knew he was coming and it was going to be like an Airbnb plug. I find it nearly impossible to give fresh fruit to every guest, especially the high turnover ones that have a new guest coming in every 2 or 3 days.
We're in the club.
Oh yeah.
We joined the club. The club is so fun. I love being in the club. Next, let's go up the statter.
Statters. Ah, yes, the loft ladder. Nothing says vacation with shin bruises at 2 a.m. Completely speaking from experience, I've already been to a bunch of these. These trendy statters or ladders, they look quirky in photos and people gobble them up, but the experience is actually hated upon, especially older guests and families. Now, I'm a pretty fit guy and I've always find it annoying having to climb up and down these ladders or statters like this. It saves space and it's cheaper to build than a full flight of stairs, but private bedrooms will outperform lofts any time of the day. It's really hit or miss with these ladders and lofts. And it was a big trend like back in 2015, 2016, but they're slowly being phased out. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with this one because this one is directly in front of a door. Can you slide? Oh, you can. Okay, yeah, you can see right here. There's a little rail right here that it can slide upon. It's just really awkward though. It is truly just for a space saving thing.
This is where the bed is, suspended of course. It's not really suspended, I know. I just feel like I should say that before somebody comments, bro just discovered the second story. I don't think anybody would really say that, but it's not really suspended. Upstairs, you'll also find a cozy reading nook. And of course, one of the main attractions of this Airbnb is how this big, beautiful garage door opens up to the outdoors.
Okay, let's talk about trend versus function. So this looks super cool for guests, but functionally, when it comes to garage doors as windows, lofts instead of bedrooms, ladders instead of stairs, these weren't built for guests. They're built to save money and time for the homeowner and look cool on Instagram. Problem is that it's really poor functionality and it doesn't really add equity. It actually can subtract from it in a lot of ways when buyers have to start factoring in the rework costs later and more maintenance and issues for hosts and homeowners. Now, I don't have any personal gripe against ladders or lofts or garage doors, but real quick, so I already told you, you get bumped shins. It's really hard to carry luggage up and down ladders or even just a backpack. And it's just annoying, especially in the middle of the night if you have to go use the restroom or, you want to go get a glass of water or something. So it can be dangerous. There's also no real handrail. So if you have kids or you have children or older parents or somebody even with a bad knee, like one time I injured my knee, I can't climb ladders or statters like that. 2, with the garage doors, I don't know about your garage door. All of my garage doors that I've put in, they're not like fully like weather resistant and like completely sealed. It just can't because it's meant to move up and down. And it's not the most energy efficient way of sealing off a house. And so if you live in an area where you get a lot of rain, you get a lot of wind, snow, or anything like that, you tend to either get rodents, insects, water, wind, or the temperature outside coming into the home. And so it's just not super hyper functional. And there's not a lot of times where I want my space to be completely open. I don't know where, well, I know where this property is, but all the properties that I have, I don't want a big garage door being open, because what that means, roaches, mosquitoes, flies, gnats, those silverfishes, they'll just come straight into the home, and it causes more issues. Looks really cool functionally. I don't know if you want to live in your garage. My garage is filled with cobwebs and spiders, and some mice get in there every once in a while. I don't want that inside the house. And then for bedrooms, y'all, can we just get this? The loft where you squeeze a queen size bed so you can only get it from the foot of it. It's such like a child thing to do. Like it's okay for children, but like growing adults paying $400, $500, $600, $700 a night, just build them a real bedroom. Like spend a little bit of extra money, have a bedroom on the first floor. Don't make them crawl up into a loft like it's a fort or something. I think it's great for Ryan. Ryan's in his 20s, but for everybody else, the other guests, I think that you could optimize it with one bedroom and actually creates more equity too. All right, let's keep watching.
And the outdoors has a lot to offer. In the backyard of the cottage, I found some kettlebells, as well as flowers that Haley likes. What are these?
Hydrangeas. Hydrangeas.
You like them?
I love them.
Why?
They look like cotton balls.
It also has a barrel sauna.
So saunas are the new hot tubs, and they do add to your average daily rate if done correctly. But this tarp job here, it just screams budget build, especially on such a beautiful property. I'd say spend the extra $300 to $500 for shingles and properly roof this and then waterproof it. It will help tremendously in the future for maintenance and for your budget. But also, it just comes off better for your guests, and they'll thank you for it. Just that it looks a lot cleaner than this. Now, here's an example from two of our members, Kat and Show, who did it the right way with their barrel sauna, and it's crushing it in the state of Washington.
And a big backyard. I love backyards. Can't get enough of these things. And if you head down the hill outside, you'll eventually happen upon a creek.
That's on the property? That doesn't look like a creek. It looks like a full-on, almost like a stream or river. That's awesome. So water is absolute magic for bookings like this. Private access can easily add $50, $100+ a night. Super easy. I've seen it go up to as much as $500 a night. But it also cranks up your insurance costs, liability for slips, boats, and injuries can eat into ROI fast if you don't plan ahead. So definitely consider that and think about that before you build or buy anything right on the water.
It is beautiful. There's also a fire pit area and a hammock with a floaty on it. Connecticut, I'm obsessed. I mean, obviously I'm a little biased because of how awesome the experience has been, but the weather is great. It's some of the best weather we've had throughout this whole adventure. This is just such a cozy house, or home, or I don't know what to call it, a cottage. Haley and I are gonna
Now, this is every host's dream. A guest saying that they had an unforgettable stay. They love the experience. But this type of experience and review from Ryan is not about getting lucky at all. The owner did a very good job of engineering the space through design, the layout, and the details. You can definitely tell, even if I'm a little bit nitpicky about some of the stuff that he put inside the structure. If you build for repeatable, what we call wow moments, you can watch 5 stars grow and the nightly rate and occupancy rates skyrocket, which is something we all like to see. Airbnb and the world of STRs is built off of your rating and your star system. But let's talk about the more important thing here, the money. Now that we got the Ryan Trahan tour, I believe he and Haley also ranked this in their top 12 best Airbnb experiences so far on this journey. Not too bad considering I think this is their 27th. Yeah, this day 27. So number 12 out of 27, not too bad. Now, this property is a top performer in Weston, Connecticut, pulling in around $92,000 a year in gross revenues. And then even with about 40 nights blocked for personal use, or maybe it's maintenance, that's still over an 80% occupancy rate, which is stellar for a single unit Airbnb. After cleaning fees, utilities, and the occasional probably ladder accident or something like that. Net profits, we're assuming is gonna be roughly $40,000 to $45,000 a year, or about $4,000 a month. Not bad for a tiny house with a tarped sauna. Now, here's the investment picture. Bought it for $450,000 in 2023. Build out costs, I'm assuming around $205,000, which is a total all in $656,000. Finance that with 20% down, that's about $131,000 cash. And you're now looking at an annualized return of 34% on invested cash, not even counting long-term equity or tax benefits. Now, if it were my place, I'd be pulling permits for a second cottage closer to the water. That could easily push this property over $200,000 a year gross with a blended ROI around 40% plus. Now, if Thomas, the host, is watching this right now, if you can get permits to build another unique space on the property, you should definitely do it. But if you're watching this right now, you're considering the Connecticut markets, Weston's solid, but I'd also like to look at areas like Hammonasset Beach State Park, which gets over 3 million visitors a year, or other coastal towns with fewer novelty builds and more steady demand. I have a feeling that zoning might be a little bit tough, but I'd start there. Here are some other nearby markets worth digging into, where there's steady tourist traffic and fewer novelty builds. What I would do is I would actually really implement what Thomas did here. I'd build similar cottages, minus the statter, loft, and the garage door, with a proper 1 or 2 bedroom cabins. And I wouldn't get too weird with the structures here, but make it whimsical, fairy tale-like, with the landscaping, the lighting, and architecture, while focusing on equity building. Don't just think about the short term, but we'd also be thinking about the long term. Durability, accessibility, and privacy first. Instagrammable moments second. Think this, not this. Now, the key takeaway here is that pretty sells. It just does. But keeping it practical and functional really keeps the calendar full long term and the property value climbing over the years, which is really how us real estate investors make our wealth and our money. But full disclosure, I like the numbers of the market around the river loft. I'd honestly double down and try to hit that 40% year-over-year return on the second door on the same property. If you want to see more of the truth behind viral Airbnbs or avoid torching $100,000 chasing influencer hype, come hang out with me in our host camp community. You can try it for $1, and if you love it, it's as low as $83 a month. You also get one-on-one coaching, FaceTime with me and Rob, and see exactly how we analyze markets before we invest. Links down below. Cancel anytime. And next time, we'll react to Ryan's treehouse stay, and trust me, those numbers are even wilder.